challenges and as an opportunity for growth. Through this lens, education becomes not only just a mean to acquire knowledge, but a journey of continuous preparation for the possibilities that lie ahead. On that note, Shaurya, do you know what is a speakers list?
Well, I don't.
Okay, so a speakers list is when each panelist gets 1 minute each to speak about their perspective on our main topic, which is preparing us students for a future that we do not know. It would go in chronological order with giving you 1 minute each. I would like to pass on now to our timekeeper Sanvi to explain you the timings.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me brief you about the timings for each round. For the first speaker list round, each panelist will be given 1 minute to put their point forward, and the bell will be rung once to indicate that one with 1 minute is over. After which, 10 seconds will be given to complete your statement, and the bell will be rung twice to indicate it. The next 4 upcoming rounds will have 15 minutes each, and the bell will be rung once to indicate its end. After which, there's a surprise round for which the timings will be mentioned later. Thank you.
Thank you, Samvi. On that note, should we begin? We request dietitian Chetna Nagesh to please begin. You have 1 minute and start.
Yes. Preparing the topic of
the topic for the speakers list would be the main topic, which is preparing us students for a future that we do not know.
Thank you. Yes. Good afternoon, one and all. It's a pleasure to talk on this topic. Preparing the students for the future that is not known is very important, because as a student, I didn't have this kind of an exposure where we can prepare ourselves for the future we don't know. And we had to face life eventually when we go through the life. But today, when we have this kind of a topic and a panel discussion, we are exposing our kids to get ready for the future we do not know, and trying to imagine what is there in the future we do not know. Because imagination has a strong capacity where we imagine something which is beyond our capacity or doability. So then the mind also thinks of what can be done in such situations. So when we open a panel discussion for this, we give a chance for doing the unimaginable things. Thank you very much.
Good evening to everyone. The future we do not know. I think even before, when we were small, it was the same thing. Till now, we didn't know the future. So it would be the same for you all also. But earlier, we didn't had so much of innovation thinking, critical thinking, problem solving. These all criteria was not so important. Or maybe we were small, so we were not aware of these things. But now you all are getting the opportunity to discuss on such platforms. And to be prepared what is coming ahead. So I feel, when you all are thinking, hold this morality also with you all, to continue, because this is a seed in us which we are born with. So we have to nurture it and, use it along with us. So when you all are thinking about for the future, please keep these things in mind. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. When we say uncertain future, we probably call it VUCA, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. How do we prepare ourselves? We have to go to the absolute basics in life, whether it's today's generation, a generation beyond today, or when we were kids. As parents or educators, it is very important for us to know who we are. First, to go ahead and inculcate some sort of values in our children. That's the primary thing. And more important so as parents, that as a partnership, we have to be happy. We have to have constructive discussions amongst us, because our children need to see us having happy conversations, discussing. It could be about a movie, it could be about your work, it could be about the environment, but children need to know that conversation is an important aspect of our life. Secondly, we have to inculcate spirituality. There is a vast difference between being religious or spiritual. So spirituality depends on the core value system we inculcate. So these two are very, very important if you have to prepare them. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, good evening, everybody. If you want to prepare the students for the future, you need to empower them at the present. You need to develop soft skills like empathy and collaboration. Empathy and collaboration plays an important role in building up relationships and developing good understanding, which rather leads to a good conversation, meaningful conversation, and we can get better ideas and solutions out of it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I think it's critical for youngsters, just like, I mean, we were lesser aware, but critical for children to be aware of what's going on around us, which is being built right now, and every day is not something that's going to occur a few years from now, right? As long as you're aware of your surroundings, all the tech that's happening around us, everything that's happening in current affairs around the world, is what is critical. So I think I'm a bigger proponent of the students being aware and woke. Right. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I think all the panelists almost said everything about how do we prepare our kids for the future that is unknown. Yes, it is unknown, and like one of the panelists said, it was unknown when we were kids as well. But it is very different right now. There is so much information at the fingertips. So we need to know how do we utilize this information and make sure how our kids understand the information that is given to them. Plus, we need to have our kids grounded. They have to be grounded no matter what level they go to. They need to have that morality. They need to have that empathy. These are the basic things that our kids have to inculcate before embarking into anything else. That is the main thing, plus the spirituality. Spirituality concept has to be there into the kids right from grade 1, right from kindergarten, I would say. Because that is not after we cross certain age or anything. It has to be there with us, in us. Thank you so much.
Those were some valuable insights from you. Can we please have a huge round of applause for all our panelists for the first round? Now I would like to call Neil Hanagandi from grade 8 to set the topic and the context for the first round.
Alize, don't you remember on Indus Day, Lieutenant General Altum Alize, don't you remember on Indus Day, our CEO MD, Lieutenant General Arjun Ray, gave an inspiring speech that included Man 1 and Man 2? And our beloved principal also mentioned it in a speech today.
Yes, absolutely. Could you please remind us of it again?
Oh yes. A Man 1 represents more of an economical man and Man 2 more of a moral man. Man 1 represents a focus on self-interest, job seeking and economical success, often highlighted by LinkedIn profiles and career building. Conversely, Man 2 embodies critical thinking, creativity, and integrity traits that can't be taught solely in classrooms.
That's really interesting. Thank you, Neil. On that note, I think we can start with our first round. This round would be a duration of 15 minutes. We would like to open the floor for discussion. The first topic being referring to what Neil said, creating Man 2. Ethical development, harnessing creativity to cultivate morally grounded individuals for an unpredictable future. I repeat, creating Man 2, empowering ethical development, harnessing creativity to cultivate morally grounded individuals for an unpredictable future.
Adding on to what Neil spoke about, in our panel discussion, we're exploring the intersection of creativity and ethics in shaping individuals for an uncertain future. We'll delve into how fostering creativity can nurture more
was there. The morality which was passed on to us through, maybe it was through storytelling or hand-on experiences, what they did, and our parents' experiences. That was the only thing, because we didn't had these gadgets to self-study or self-learn. Now you kids have that, and maybe in this journey, we all parents are so much into working now. So, and because of this, we have moved from one city to other, and we don't stay with a joint family here. We are secular or singular, so we don't pay much attention on the growings. But these seeds are always was with us since we are born. It is just that we need to enhance those and keep nurturing in our house. So I feel that the parenting, what starts from the childhood, has to start from the home and carry forward. Maybe because of our daily things, I think this can be cultivated in adults by putting them and asking them for volunteering in community services, through which they can learn this collaboration as well as their morality and helping each other, their critical thinking here, respecting each other, being honest. These all can be passed on here. I think this is being doing from the school also, because that becomes a part of their journey. So I feel here, we all are still doing, and they are more I feel kids are having this already, and outside the house they do respect everyone. We have got friendly with our children, so maybe they are frank to say no to us, but I see when they are around, they do respect. So it's always been there. Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti. I mean, you did touch upon really, really good points, and same to you, Manwa. I would like to add a few things. Right at this age, I think the moral compass is already building. You know, it starts as soon as you're born, and we're growing up, and what we learn from our surrounding and our parents. Ethical compass is what gets calibrated a little later, right? When we start growing up. But I think as much as parenting and schools are responsible, there needs to be deliberate actions taken to calibrate this compasses a little bit, right? I have a few examples of how this could be done creatively, right? One way could be for the caretakers, be it parents or guardians, to definitely be role models, because kids watch and learn, right? If we act, behave, and think and speak in a well-behaved manner, the children are going to pick up right on it, right? Because as I said before, monkey see, monkey do, right? And then one other way would be to role playing. If we see our youngsters behaving or acting or responding to a situation in a certain way, we could rather ask, how would you feel when you are in the other person's shoe, right? It's as the catchphrase go, treat others the way you want to be treated, right? Having those conversations, to again touch upon having open conversations whenever we see events or incidents around us, good, bad, ugly. Have open conversations with our wards and see what do we see, what do we infer, and what do we learn out of it. If you were in that situation, what corrective measures we would take, right? Having those open communications. So that's one creative way of doing things. Others add, as Preeti touched upon, of course, community services. Again, starting small at home, picking up responsible acts, being responsible and accountable for smaller things like keeping your room clean or being respectful, stuff like these at home. I think these would be some creative ways of doing this. And at school, I would also, I have a very strong opinion about maybe conducting hypothetical mock drills. Just put students in situations and see how they behave, right? And maybe calibrate and fine tune a little bit here and there, right? I think these are some creative ways that we could come up with. These are deliberate actions. We all learn, and we have all learned on the job. But if we have an opportunity to take deliberate actions, I think we should take that opportunity. Thank you.
That was great points by Preeti, Manwa, and Nitiraj. So carrying it forward from there, what I believe is it is harnessing the creativity in a child to prepare them for the future we do not know. So this will open up, as I told in the first round, this will open up a lot of imagination by the kids. When we are doing a creative act, that is when the mind wanders and thinks about the impossibilities, and also thinks about how we can overcome the impossibilities, what are the actions required to overcome the impossibilities and to face the future we do not know. So creativity will push them into a zone where they will imagine situations which is not happening right now, the situations which may come up in future. And as you know, kids' imagination is really, really wonderful and vast. So when we allow them to creatively think, be it through role models, role plays, or talking, or drawings, or paintings, dancing also. We saw the other day in the Indus annual day, the drama which brought out so many things. You know, there was a very powerful impact message given to us on that day. It all was only through creativity and nothing else. There was no speeches, there were no long essays written or anything over there. It was just through dance drama, a creative mode where the kids gave us an impactful message. So when you allow the kids to have creativity and imagination, they give us the answers back. So I believe that harnessing this creativity is very important, because at a young age, because you can bend a plant but not a tree. So when you give them positive inputs at this age by harnessing their creativity, that will help them to face the life in a long run. We are preparing them in the long run, and I firmly believe Indus is giving its 100% in this field of creativity, because I've seen my child blossoming very well in the field of creativity, and it is taking her in the right direction. Hats off to you all, and you have given us a chance to become creative today, because we are thinking, which was lost all these days. So thank you very much.
Yeah. So just to continue with the conversation, creating man too, who is ethically, morally responsible citizen. I would like to take an example of the business tycoons, Ambanis and Sudha Murthy, Narayan Murthys. If we look at their kids, the way they have been brought up, they have everything available at their footsteps. But I was reading one of the articles of Mrs. Ambani, Nita Ambani, and what she said was, when the kids were small, can you imagine the pocket money that they gave the kids? It was just 5 rupees a week. That's all the money that they gave them. And you can imagine they are the business tycoons. Why? Why did they do that? Just so that they understand the value of money. I personally feel money definitely, everybody today is going behind money, which is natural. That's how the world is going today. But at the same time, we need to understand we are trying to build man two and not man one. Man two is the person who is ethically responsible, morally responsible, but at the same time, he is trying to build the nation. He or she is trying to build a society and bring everybody together with them. It's just not a single person moving forward. It's this entire society that is moving forward. And that is what we have to focus on. It's collaborative work that we are working together. We have to work together. That is the sense of responsibility that we have to put that seed in the kids today, that it's not individual win, it's a team win. If the team wins, society wins, and then society wins, our state wins, and like that our country wins. And we are all working together. That's what we have to focus on. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Small habits make big difference. Values acts as an anchor, holds strongly to its roots when there is a storm. And morality is my preference to make right or wrong decisions. They help in ethical decision making. For example, Robin Hood. Robin Hood used to steal to feed the poor. Stealing is unethical and helping is ethical. So we need to follow some rules and regulations for the betterment of our society. Thank you.
Carrying forward, I would just ask all of you, today what we are doing is something creative, right? Did any of us imagine that something can be done like this before we saw it today? Or did we imagine? But this was an imagination which came out of the creative mindset of General Ray, right? So, and this creativity gave rise to a panel discussion. This creativity gave rise to the jury, to the resolution jury, and to the judges in our kids. And this is, I know, and it's a fact that they would have brainstormed a lot as a community, the teacher community, the student community. And what is that brainstorming? It is just pouring out your creative thoughts and pouring out the suggestions, the solutions how to conduct this event. So what is happening here? The creativity is giving rise to strong individuals who is ready to face the future unknown. You are making the kids ready to face the future unknown in a creative way. You are not lecturing them inside the classroom about it. I know you might be doing it on and off every day, but this kind of a creativity what you've given them, in future now they are ready to face the future unknown because they did this event today. So that is the power of creativity, what it can do to an individual in harnessing and ethical. And when we go to creativity and ethical values, see here, none of them is interfering or talking amongst themselves, or none of them are, looking at their laptops or tabs to, for entertainment purpose, right? They are respecting each other's space here. So you are giving them values in the form of creativity over here. Thank you very much.
Can I say a few things? No problem. You can go ahead with the. I'll add to the other point.
A big thank you to our esteemed panelists for your valuable insights and perspectives.
While listening,
I would like to ask the panelists to please keep their response brief so we can cover more ground. Thank you. I would like to hand it over to Neil now.
while listening to your inspiring talks, I picked up some points which I found very deep and interesting. Balancing man one and man two is the way to live life, Miss Manva. Family and cultural values are very important, Miss Manva again. Showing values to the descendants is more important than saying, yes, Miss Manva. Type of family impacts the learning of the child, Miss Preeti. Parenting should start from the home, Miss Preeti. And the values have been in the child from earlier, Miss Preeti. Be role models to the children, Mr. Nitiraj. Treat others the way you want to be treated, Mr. Nitiraj. Start from smaller things and then move on, Mr. Nitiraj. Creativity makes the mind more active, Miss Chetna. Positivity and creativity makes the children prepared for the future, Miss Chetna. And being wealthy does not mean not understanding money, Miss Aparna. And creativity gives rise to strong individuals, Miss Chetna. Thank you.
That was some valuable highlights. Thank you, Neil. Shaurya, what are your thoughts on AI?
Well, maybe it's augmented reality, virtual reality, and maybe robots?
Absolutely. On that note, I would like to put forth the second topic for discussion. Artificial intelligence. AI's impact on education, a blessing or a curse for an unpredictable future. I repeat, artificial intelligence, AI's impact on education, is it a blessing or a curse for an unpredictable future? I would like to open the floor for discussions.
AI is the most happening word in the present day. And as we told, future unknown, tomorrow's future is unknown. It's not that we are preparing them for 10 years ahead or 5 years ahead. Today's innovation becomes outdated tomorrow, right? And when it comes to AI as a boon or a bliss for education, it is both the ways. And of course, it is in our hands to use it as a boon or a bliss. The other day, my son was telling, controlled usage of AI is always a bliss. That is, I'm sorry, it's always a boon. Controlled use of AI, when we do it, it will definitely help us, but we shouldn't lose our originality and creative thinking in the process. AI and technology are not magical powers. They are just amplifiers to make your efforts better or to make the result better. They have to be used in places where it requires a lot of physical energy or tiresome work like data analysis, spell check. You don't have to do spell check by reading every line. It can be done through AI. That is a good way of using AI. But again, controlled use without losing your originality and creative thinking is the main thing. Then AI is definitely a boon to all of us to enhance the educational capacity of the institution as well as the learning capacity of the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetna. Taking forward that, yes, AI, as we know, it's as it is an artificial intelligence. We human created it, and it has to be used balancedly. AI, of course, gives us lots of opportunity to do error-free jobs, faster production, and give all the data what we need. It helps us to analyze in different platforms and give it to us. The only thing I feel, somewhere AI, we should not let AI take over us, because it would take over our jobs. If you see AI, it's everywhere. Coming forth, the doctors' jobs are being done through AI. All the production, industrial, everywhere AI is used. What is happening to the thinking, critical thinking for the students? Are they not using AI for it? Are they really using their skills to it? That also needs to be thought here. And as I feel, when the jobs are taken away, what is the other man too going to do? We also have to think. And we develop morality, of course, we will think on man too, what the people without jobs are going to do. And I would here put one more thing is, I think I just, give me a minute, I'll come back to it, saying to that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Manva. So yeah, artificial intelligence, that's a hot topic and it's here to stay. We know that very well. It's here to stay. It's not going to go anywhere and we cannot run away from it. So let's just face it, right? That's the first thing. But how do we face it? That's the question. How do we raise our kids to handle this AI which is everywhere, which is lingering everywhere? And when I think about it, I see that AI has many strong points than the negative points. That's what I think. Because there are so many positive things artificial intelligence can do. Recently, I saw that in Bangalore, a set of doctors used AI machine to remove a blood clot which was not allowing blood to flow through the arteries in the lungs. So only AI machine could do that. And it was harmless. The patient was ready to get out and go the next morning. Who could do it? I mean, it's because of AI. This is one example that we have. And there are many such examples which are out there, which is helping humankind in a big way. But then this is where man too comes into picture. Man too is an ethical guy, ethical, morally grounded person. I'm using a man, but it's a lady as well. So excuse me for that. That is where man too comes into picture. We need to know, as a human, we need to know where do we draw that line. How much can AI help us? Yes, it is definitely here to stay, but how much do we want to be dependent on this artificial intelligence? We need to set a draw. The AI cannot draw a line. We humans can draw that line. Because there is another negative example of this AI. Recently, ChatGPT is a very happening thing again, right? Everybody is using ChatGPT. So for 16 hours, ChatGPT was giving gibberish responses. When anybody asked, it was just giving gibberish. So what do we do? Just imagine if we are completely dependent on AI for everything, what is going to happen if something like this happens? Because ultimately, it is a machine which we have created. So we need to be morally responsible, ethically responsible to make sure that these machines that we are creating do their duties. Let them do their duties, but let's not make them overpower us. Let's not make them bigger than us. Let humans be bigger, always. That's what is my thinking. Thank you so much.
Because I think we are all in agreement that AI is definitely a blessing, right? I don't think anybody is contradicting it. But yes, there is a word of caution, and we have to be cautious because it's an immensely powerful tool, right? And what AI is just a simulation of human intelligence. That's all it is, right? Put together with a whole bunch of data and being moderated and regulated by a bunch of algorithms, right? That's all AI is, but it can do a lot of things that a single human probably not practically would be able to do, right? But again, it's an immensely powerful tool at our disposal. I think we would all need to learn to use it ethically, use our moral compass on when and where it is right to use the tool and to our advantage. And of course, again, going back to the moral compass, it can do as much harm as it can do good to humanity. So I think always watching on that moral compass is important. I think we touched upon that point briefly previously on how it is important to develop that moral compass as we grow up or keep growing, right? I would like to also add, let us not be intimidated, right? I think the buzz around is that it is extremely intimidating. It could be, but as long as you understand how it is developed and what it is doing and what it really is, and I think there's no need to be intimidated. And while we use it, let's be ethical and responsible, right? A chat GPT or any AI tool can generate a content for us, like how the Sora app is now able to generate videos. I think it's being humans, we would still need to review it, need to still proofread it. You can give it the best of the prompts, but you still have to proofread what it is doing and whether it matches what your thoughts are, right? And then we can definitely use it for our benefit. Okay. Thank you.
AI is the accumulation of information which analyze and project the way you want it to be. In coming years, a small gadget also can do human work more better than we do. AI should not be used as a shortcut. It is just a tool. It is a bliss when it is used as an opportunity, and it is a curse when it is used as a threat. Teachers are using AI for affecting teaching methodology for the students, for the betterment of the students. But students are using it for making their work easy, their assessments, beat anything, maybe writing an essay or anything. AI must be used very responsibly and ethically. Humans are the only species who can live without anything, and they've proved that. Thank you.
So completely in agreement with everything that my co-panelists said. Let's remember that AI is complementing us and not going to supplement a human. I was listening to one of Mukesh Ambani's interview. So somebody asked him, sir, what is the secret behind your success? He just gave a one-word answer saying hard work. So whether there is AI, there is no AI, hard work has to be done. So I completely agree that AI is a boon, but the way you use it is what is important. And at the crux of all of this is what kind of hard work you put to get the desired result you want. So, if we think that AI is going to make our work easier, yes, but you need to have intelligence to ensure that you're giving the right instructions, the right guidance, because if you want a desired result, you need to be ahead of AI. Let's remember that technology has not made humans. Humans have made technology. So that means we are way ahead what AI is. We are way smarter. So we need to use our smartness and use technology to kind of create a better environment. So what I want to say is that, one of the panelists said that we cannot let any kind of technology, whether it is AI, internet, like I mentioned earlier, that couple of years ago when telephone came, people got scared that, now the interpersonal relations are going to get disappeared. That did not happen. Well, mobile phones came, people started thinking that, now, the world is going to become a shorter place and people are not going to meet more often. How will this kind of wonder? Nothing changed. Life only became better and simpler. Internet came and everybody started, there was a buzzword that is going to be misused, there's going to be wrong content. Yes, everything that has a right has a wrong side to it. But internet only made things easier for us. Similarly, this is a new technology, it's a new tool, it's a new way of life. We have to embrace it, but we need to remember that we are the most intelligent species. We have the control in our hand and we need to work hard. There is no substitute to that to ensure we get what we want. Yeah, thank you.
Add on, AI is ethically neutral. It doesn't differentiate between right and wrong. But we as humans are still, have the capacity to judge. We are ethical. We are not neutral. We know what is ethically right and ethically wrong. So we have to control the AI and not AI controlling us. That is when it becomes a curse. Thank you.
Just to add another point, Helen Keller said a very interesting thing, The worst thing a human being can have is eyesight but no vision. So that vision for us as human beings is very, very important in whichever tool we use. The minute we are clear of why we want to use, how we want to use, we are good. AI is always going to be a boon because it is only going to help us amplify, increase and strengthen the work we do. Thank you.
Yeah, just another thing. Since AI is here, the name that comes first is Elon Musk, obviously, right? He's the guy who is doing big things in AI field. Just to bring it out, what he thinks AI is going to be much bigger and much better than a human being. That's what he thinks. And that was, I'm just bringing this up here because, I thought I should. So we as as a panelist here and kids here, we need to think about it because the person who is big in this AI field thinks that way. So how do we make sure that AI doesn't overpower us? We have to. And recently I read that they have inserted a chip in the human mind with the control. With that chip, this is the first human being, and they have inserted the chip, and he can control the mouse movement with this chip. That is the level they have, and the reason why they have done is to make sure that in the medical field tomorrow they can do treatments. That is the reason. But again, this is where man too again comes into picture. As ethically, we have to make sure that we use these facilities which are out there, the technology which is out there, take it in a right direction and not in the wrong direction. So that is our responsibility as a human being. Thank you so much.
Thank you, panelists, for your insightful contributions. Now, I would request Neil to talk about the highlights of this round.
I would now like to share some of the most impactful aspects of this round. Here they are. Today's innovation becomes outdated tomorrow. Controlled use of AI is always a boon. We should not let AI control us, Ms. Chetna. Using AI in difficult situations is beneficial. All should learn to use AI ethically, Ms. Aparna. And AI should not be used as a shortcut, only as a tool, Ms. Rashmi. Whether there is AI or no AI, there should be hard work. Technology hasn't made a human, and a human has made technology, so it has a higher right. And as time goes on, nothing big happens. And Ms. Manva, the new chip which was inserted in humans, the latest technology, Ms. Aparna. Thank you.
Shaurya, Neil, I have a question for you guys. Do you guys think that a person can be good without actually doing good in life?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all. No.
And do you think that's something that should be discussed?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay, so on that note, the third topic would be exploring the essence of virtue. Can one be good without doing good? Strategies for instilling humanity in humans in the next generation amidst an uncertain future. I repeat, exploring the essence of virtue. Can one be good without doing good? Strategies for instilling humanity in humans in the next generation amidst an uncertain future.
I'll take it over. You can hear?
In our panel discussion, we're delving into the core of virtue. Can goodness exist without action? We'll explore strategies to instill empathy and compassion in the next generation. Amid an unpredictable future, join us as we navigate the intersection of values, behavior, and evolving landscape of humanity.
As you said, can we be good without doing good? Here I can take a line from Bambi, who said, if you can't say good, do not say good. Or you can, as it says again, if you cannot say anything nice, do not say anything at all. So I feel if you do, they are people with moral values, but sometimes they cannot come upon and act on it. But they are good by thoughts. They spread this morality or humanity through thoughts. It's nothing that they need to come up and work on it. The thought can change others. There's so many, speakers who just by sitting at a place change our mindsets. So that thought is required. And the virtual around us, once we see, I think we need to do our gestures there. Yes, we need both the side of it. The people who talk on it as well as the people who act on it. A simple gestures like, when are we coming out of the restaurant or something, we can hold a door for somebody. We can help our old parents at home. We neglect that, doing that. So humanity is really necessary. But they are the ones who cannot also get up and ask, right? The old parents cannot do it. But they do through us. That I say, it can be done. So that is what I would like to say and move.
So, in life, whether it is about good actions or basic actions, unless and until you do anything, you're not creating an impact. Like if you want to wake up, you wake up. If you have to write, you have to do it. It's the same principle that if you want to do something good, if you think that you're doing something good, doesn't work out. You have to actually action it out. And when you say, how do we do it, what are the basics of doing good, is start thinking about positive things. When you wake up in the morning, smile. When you're talking to people around you, talk about the good things that are around you. Don't in the morning, generally, it's a very natural thing. We are trying to wake up our kids or, our partners because we have a deadline of time to meet. Come on, it's getting late. Get up, or your bus will go. You will not have breakfast. Or luckily for Indus parents, breakfast is not a problem. But you'll not have bath. Your bag won't be packed. Why are we starting the conversation with something negative? We have to be like, good morning, it's a great day, get up, you have to get ready, it's school day, there is, Indus Altum day coming on, you have to practice. Just try doing this, like these small positive things in life. At the end of the day, it becomes like a practice, a notion of your living. You don't really have to work hard on doing anything. It has to naturally come to you. Sadhguru said a very, very nice thing that parenthood or just being an educator is something that nobody knows how best it can be done. One parent to the other or one teacher to the other, nobody knows what's the most right way. So on the go is when you learn, on the go is when you understand some challenges, some opportunities, some good things. But the basic most thing that you can do is get your body or get your mind, soul and body accustomed to saying that there are a lot of positive things, there are a lot of good things around us. All that we have to do is get up and start living. I don't remember which, yeah, it was in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, where between the friends, the characters, they say, what makes you, I think Farhan Akhtar asks Hrithik Roshan, what is making you so happy suddenly? Because he's generally a very ambitious, a little like a grumpy fellow. Then he said, you know what, I just realized that I have to breathe. That makes life easy. So just breathe. Just think that the world around you is good. Start your day happily. You will naturally do good things, because doing good cannot be forced onto somebody. It has to be learnt eventually. Thank you.
I'll take it if you don't mind. Yes. Thank you. And great points, Manwa. I would like to add and say, like, just being good, I know it's a great virtue to have for everybody, but it doesn't really make a lot of difference. But acting upon it does, right? I mean, one great example, or what we see commonly around us, is how many times we see a littered room, and then when you go into the room and ask the kids, like, who did it? It's very easily the first answer would be, it wasn't me, right? And that comes from the point of being a good person. It wasn't me because I did not litter, but what action was taken, right? And it goes for everybody else also. Like not just by being good, but what preventive action did we take? How did we enhance or improve the surrounding just by taking action? Maybe you took a corrective action by cleaning up yourself, or maybe preventing that litter to happen by just spreading a good word to not to do it among your friends, right? And I think it goes for everything around us. Just turning a blind eye just because I'm a good person, but I won't do anything about it. I don't think it helps much, right, in the society and the world that we live in, right? I think one great example that comes to my mind, I know he's an anti-hero kind of a character, but I think for me he's a living legend, is Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden, I'm not sure if everybody's aware of, but is kind of a cult right now, because he was a technical consultant at NSA's secret labs in Hawaii. I believe that's the place that he was, and he blew the whistle on US government on global surveillance. Now that's a moral compass that he was there. Even by being a good person, maybe everybody around there was good, but he took an action and he went by his moral compass and blew the whistle on what the government was doing, what the NSA was doing, and revealed, and again, going back to the point before, he was wrong ethically to reveal confidential documents, but he was right morally to make public aware of what was happening behind their back, and that everybody was under surveillance, right? So that was an act of goodness, right? It's not a representation of just being good, but that is an act of goodness that went a really, really long way, and now there are better regulations around, and everybody was answerable from their point on. I think that's a great example that comes to my mind why acting and doing good is much, much, much more critical in the day that we are living in. Thank you.
That's a very good example what you gave, Nitiraj, and taking forward the inputs given by Preeti, Manwa and Nitiraj, what I feel is action speaks louder than words. It's a proverb that we all know, and it's being imbibed in us right from the childhood. So doing good is more important, and also being good is important, because when you're being good only you can do good. Not being good, you cannot do good, right? So both are necessary, and action speaks louder than words. When it comes to strategies on how to harness ethical values for the future, we do not know. I feel it's a collaboration between the parents and the school community, right? Because our kids are spending most of their time at home and at school, equal amount of time in fact. So it is a collaboration between the school and the parent community to bring strategize what is the strategies or measures we can take to bring up the ethical values. And according to me, one thing is strengthening the family foundation is very important. That is interacting with the child, and that is how they learn values, because we set an example to them. And next thing is you have to revamp the education system to just not impart the subject knowledge. There should be a collaboration of subject learning as well as learning the ethical values through creative thinking, which Indus has been doing it 100%, and through the community interaction. And that is another strategy. Like example is the Ningenhatti project, what you people are doing, where there's a lot of community interaction, which is bringing about an ethical value system in the kids, because they are seeing what it is to be in someone else's shoes, right? Because as I know, all the kids here are very well-to-do, and showing them the other part of the society, the other face of the society is very important. So the community interaction is another thinking. Positive role models, being positive role models around, giving them examples, or you being a positive role model. Example is, my son, when I took him to my family in Bangalore after 2 years, because he's in his +2 right now. So the past 2 years, he's not interacted with his grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins. And I was more worried, how will he get adjusted? But the way he spoke with them, the way he helped them, you know, I was taken aback. And finally, on the last day, he's telling his little cousin, join Synergy, you'll become good. Matlab, join Synergy, you'll be good enough to face life. Because that cousin of his was very meek and afraid to speak. So that role model of synergies, I hope few of you have experienced here. Abhinav sir, Rahul sir are being a positive role model and bringing about a lot of changes in him. And I've told them that the maturity what I see in him, the mellow down or what I see in him is all because of them. So creating positive role models around us and bringing them into the community interaction, okay, and also media literacy. You have so much of media around you now, right? So how to use it in a constructive way? That is one strategy, what we have to teach the kids to become ethically valued or virtued. And next is an open dialogue between the parent and the children, between the teacher community and the children is another way of bringing about it. And conflict resolution amicably. I know when you were creating this kind of an event, there was a lot of conflict among all of you. So resolving that conflict amicably without hurting the feelings of the person in front of you is another strategy what we need to teach them, so that they are ready for the future unknown, right? So these are the points what I feel are the strategies what we can involve in the education system, both at the house and the school, to make them ethically, virtually connected to the future unknown. Thank you.
As charity begins at home, it's not enough just to be good. Our actions have an impact on the society and at the home on our kids. We have to inculcate empathy, integrity, kindness and caring should be taught. It is, as Ms. Chetna told, it is a team effort by both the parents and the school. We have, as a flower blooms, it doesn't wait somebody to appreciate it. As the trees give us oxygen, it doesn't expect anything from anybody. We have, being good, before being good, we have to learn to be ourselves first. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have a little different take on this topic. Can one be good without doing good? I would like to take an example, steal the example from Rashmi about Robin Hood. Robin Hood, he's portrayed as being a good human being, good person. But what did he do? He was stealing from rich people and giving it to the poor. He was good, his thoughts were good, but his actions, were they good? Were they ethically right? So this is something which we have to think about. You have to be good, you have to do good, you have to think good about the society, but our actions have to be good. We have to be on the right path in order to help the society. But again, he is portrayed as a great hero, great person. That's how he's portrayed as. And the other thing that I would want to say here is, one can be good. Now, I feel it is individual perspective about being good, and society views it as a different. Like, for example, 100 years back, right, women were not allowed to come out and vote. That was considered wrong. But there were few people who stood against it, and they said this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. But as society, they said, no, this is wrong. So, if you think you are doing the right thing, you think that you are doing the right thing for the society, then you have to stand up for it. That is the main thing. You have to stand up no matter what the society says. So you need to have that confidence and willpower to stand for your words, stand for your thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate the depth of your analysis here.
All of you have educated us with your wonderful phrases, so let me revisit them. If you cannot say something nice, then do not say anything at all. Simple gestures will affect people in a very good way. Miss Preeti, always speak with a positive vibe, and doing good has to come within, not first. Miss Manva, being moral will always lead to true and ethical future. Mr. Nitiraj, actions speak louder than words. Interacting with the community is bringing more ethical values. Creating positive role models is beneficial for the descendants and the community. Ms. Chetna, actions have an impact on the surrounding environment. We have to learn to be ourselves. Ms. Rashmi, portraying being good doesn't mean you're actually good. Ms. Aparna, thank you.
Can we have a huge round of applause for all our panelists? Shaurya, have you heard about the Indian competitive exam preparation coaching classes that are taking part in Indus Altum?
Yes, even my friends are undergoing that coaching.
Yes, me too.
So, on that note, I think this is the last round of open discussion we have, and later we have the most awaited surprise round, which I'm hoping you all are waiting for. Before that, I would like to open the floor for this round. It is competitive examinations. Is preparedness towards Indian competitive examinations significant for a navigating future? I repeat, competitive examinations. Is preparedness towards Indian competitive examinations significant for navigating the future?
In this round, we're looking into the relevance of preparedness for Indian competitive examinations in shaping future success. Join us as we examine whether these exams remain pivotal in navigating evolving landscapes of opportunities and challenges in India. Thank you.
Indian competitive exams. This itself, is, I feel stressful when I say that. But of course, when I see today's generation, they're getting lots of opportunities to reach out and make studies easier. I think it is really, when I say the word competitive, of course, when we enter to it or participate it, we will learn to dedicate ourselves and try to excel in our skills. So that is what competition or competitive exams are there. It gives you your standards, motivation, your hard work can all be seen through it. India stands second for the competitive exam after China. So the stress, of course, is too much on the kids. That's the only drawback. The last evening, I asked Anish, my son, why don't you try giving, what are your, aspects of competitive exam? He said, I don't want to give it. I said, why? Then he said, it's very stressful. I said, but you are capable, try for it. He said, no mom, I don't want to. This fear is put in among all the kids that the competitive exams are stressful and you need to really, really work hard. But as recently when I saw the movie 12th Fail, the actor in it, he didn't had much knowledge till he was in grade 12. He lacked in his knowledge there. But he was, what he saw with what was done to his father, he said like, let me go and give a try to bring my status in the society higher. So he reached to the city there and he didn't give up, just he didn't take anybody's favor to get in there. He worked in a small restaurant as a cleaner to get there. He tried hard, he studied hard to get through it and he got through it. It was a real story. What was there? So I say the all kids should at least attempt once, it will motivate you all to study harder. And these competitive exams are fair enough. They don't judge or they are not biased. So give a try. They are for you all, Just participate and do your hard work there. Thank you.
So competition in life is very important, whether we like it or not. After 10th grade or after 12th grade, when you step into your professional life, everybody is not going to be at the same level. But what is important is, let not this competition hold, it should not symbolize what your value or worth is. Don't give it more prominence than your own self-worth. So as educators or caregivers or as parents, what is important is prepare our children for the future. Ingrain in their system that there is going to be somebody who's going to come first, second, third. You may be them, but there could be a time where you could be the last one. But what is important is know your true worth, know your true value, and stick to your gut and persistence. I read a very interesting quote by Stephen Hawking which said, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change, not your credentials and degree. So there is no degree in the world which can tell you how good or great you are. But to achieve what you want in your life, you have to be ready to face competition. So what is important as parents or educators is, tell children that some or the other stage of your life, you're going to face failure. But how you adjust to that failure, how you learn from it is what is important. Unless and until there is some level of competition, there's going to be absolutely no motivation in kids. Today, my daughter is in grade 1, but the day I tell her that there is exam coming in, although she knows that there's going to be no first, second, third, but she knows that there's a goal for her to achieve. There's something that she looks forwards, and until and unless we create that goal and create that motivation, we will not be able to see what that child or what that particular individual is good for. As a professional, we feel once you start working, once you start heading departments and divisions, your kind of competition is over because now you're the leader. But that's not true. Now my competition is with my CEO because that's my next goal. So that does not make me smaller or bigger or larger, but I am just learning. So learn, unlearn, and again learn things that are important so that any kind of challenge life throws at you, right, you are ready to accept it. Whether it could be a competitive exam, whether it could be simple running, or whether it could be, just writing something. Just be prepared for it. And what I believe is the best way to be competitive ready is playing a sport. It is a very, very basic thing. When you work in a team sport, you very well know that there's going to be a downfall, there's going to be a rise, but your emotions need to be plateaued. We all know how Sachin Tendulkar is the greatest cricketer, but he went through a bad phase in life. He rose up from there. How he rose up, how he gave face to competitiveness is what we should learn. there is no Virat Kohli, there is no Messi, there is no Tendulkar without competition. So it's I don't know if I don't call it as a sad reality. That's a great reality of life, that competitive exams or competition is always going to exist. It's a healthy way of building an environment, but we should learn how to deal with it, how to deal with success, how to deal with failure, and how to prepare and motivate ourselves. Thank you.
So competitive exams, that was a really good point. Learn, Manva, learn and unlearn is very important. Learning is important, unlearning is as well important. And competitive exams help us to do that, right? We need to shift our focus from one exam to the other, and each exam has its own strategy. So you have to unlearn a strategy and learn a new strategy to crack another competitive exam. So that is what we do in life as well, right? Every day we learn and unlearn what we have learned the previous day. So that is very important. And yes, of course, if you're judging a person with his professional qualification and education and using it as a bar to judge a person, we are failing as a society, because we have seen that not so qualified persons are also successful in their own way. But having said that, the society is a combination of both the man, what we tell, that a person who's doing wonders without a kind of high qualification, as well a person who, example, there are many communities which put up startups on their own without a formal background, but still they excel. And there's a community who's well qualified, example Narayan Murthy of Infosys, and we still require that person as well. And competitive exams, as Ms. Preeti told, it helps us to be prepared, it helps us to do hard work, right? But as a parent community, as the school community, we should know to analyze which child is capable for a competitive exam, which child is not able to face that competitive exam in a sturdy manner, and not pressurize them. And see, as a parent, I judged that my son was capable of handling the competitive or cracking the competitive exams. So I prepared him from the beginning, not at the end stage of 11th and 12th. So preparing them from the beginning is more important, and competitive exams are here to stay whether you want it or not want it. And yes, it is a fair, as Ms. Preeti told, they analyze very fairly each and every student. There is no bias over there, because everything is AI again, which is not having a bias among any student. So there is no bias created over there. So the right candidate is picked up to get into a right institution, and we get bright individuals coming out from there who are, as we see right now in India, most of the startups and unicorns which are coming up are basically from the IITs, NITs, and triple ITs. The percentage I'm talking about, I'm not telling that the other candidates are not coming up with anything. The percentage of startups is more from that category of people. So when that is because the hard work, what they got, the focus, what they have, the 2 years of focus, what I saw in my son, to crack a competitive exam, and the change it brought about in him as a personality was amazing. That is off the social media, off the internet. Internet was used only for the school purpose. So all these things, competitive exams are there, it is going to be there. Please judge your child's capability and then know whether he can definitely get into it or not get into it. Thank you.
Yeah, I would want to like to take a different take on it. We heard most of us saying that competition is important. I kind of stray away from that path. I would like to travel than to race, right? So that's my take on it. And competitive exams, coming back to the topic, is I think a practical tool to infuse certain order, because there is a chaotic crowd out there and we need to form a line to get in through the gate, right? That's what competitive exams are for me. And if it's our choice, if our ward's choice to be in that crowd. If you choose a different path, if you choose a different destination which is not as competitive, and if it necessarily takes you to go through that competitive gate, so be it. Then be ready for the grind, right? But is that something that should be intimidating? No, that's your choice. You made your choice for career path, and that's the leading to that great. You have to go through the competitive exams. So just take it as is, but you're free to choose something more creative, right? Something more passionate, something that you could follow. And again, I would like to disagree. Not all startups come from IITs and IIMs, right? There are other people who have done exceptionally well outside of the premier institutes, right? So I would like to suggest, do not get intimidated. It's just something that you have to go through if you choose the path of being in the crowd. I would like to repeat myself. Thank you.
Exams are just a small part of our curriculum. It cannot decide our individual potential. It is your creative skills who decides your potential. Creative skills like problem solving, making ethical decision making. UPSC exams or whatever exams, competitive exams, prepare kids both personally and professionally. The way we make use of our opportunity in life with hard work and passion to do things is all what matters. We have lost so many lives with the fear or pressure of exams. Please do not, I would like to say, don't take exams so seriously. Failure is the stepping stone of success. These exams can teach you empathy, ability to moral decision, to make your decisions, to make right or wrong. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually would like to agree with Mr. Nithiraj and Ms. Rashmi here. I have, even as a student, I've always been away from exams. Not that I have not written them. I have written all the exams, passed them colorfully, had a great career. But the competition was always with me. It was nobody else. It was to become a best of me and not against somebody else. That's what I think we should aspire for. Let's become the best of who we are. Let's just work on that. Why do we even have to look at the other? Let's get inspired from others. Okay, there's a student, there's a friend who is working hard and trying to get to the goal that he or she wants to reach. That's a great thing to imbibe from. Let me work towards my goal. My goal is different from that person's. It doesn't have to be the same. Let's not copy what the other person is. And I can't remember who said it, but let's, we are individual. We are who we are. Let's not copy and become somebody else. Let's become the better version of ourselves and work towards it. And coming back to this question, competitive examinations. Like I said, I am a big, what do you say? Non-believer. Non-believer of competitive exams, because like Ms. Rashmi said, we have lost many great minds, great people to this, who succumb to these competitive exams just because of the pressure. The pressure that is given to the kids at that young age, at the age of 19 years, it's tremendous. I don't want to sound a sore person or a sore player here, but this is just my thinking and whatever I'm seeing. And I was trying to look for some examples in India where they don't have competitive exams, but I couldn't find any. So I had to look internationally, and Finland is the country where none of the schools have exams. Only the secondary school, I think they just have one exam, and that too it's just to assess the students, but otherwise they don't have any exams. And it is said that survey says that they are the happiest people on the earth. That is what the survey says. So let's work towards it. Let's become professionally well, let's do well, but let's be happy, and like I said, let's make this society better. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. All of you have a natural talent for public speaking. Uh, but now we are open to questions from a brilliant jury.
Res- Respected panelists, my question is related, like it's not related. My question is that do you think, what is your opinion about present or future generations' lifestyle and influence of social media on their mental health? Do you want me to give you an example? So let's just think that there are two people, person A, person B. Person A posts something about going to a vacation to Bali, and like it was probably 2 or 3 years ago, and then person B thinks that, oh my god, that person went to Bali and I did not, and they start having this unhealthy competition with others.
So first of all, today's generation is fantastic. I have so much trust and I love this generation because y'all have the privilege of one, technology and values which y'all can inculcate from your parents and grandparents. So y'all are the lucky generation which has like a perfect mixture of both. Now, whether social media is good, bad, not bad, again, it is the responsibility as caregivers, as parents, as teachers that we set certain rules, and rules are to be followed. So we don't need social media for a child who's in grade 5 or grade 6 or grade 7. They don't need to have a Instagram account or a Facebook account to do what? Are you communicating with your educators on that? Are you conversing with your friends on your syllabus? No. So do not have a social media presence. I think there is no gray area here. Just don't let your children be on these platforms. Remember that, something which she said very well, that you have to be the best version of yourself. There is, in this case, I think there should be no competition. As parents, it is our responsibility that we set certain code of conduct in the family. These things are a no, these things are a go. And if these things are done, you are going to face consequences. What the consequences are, as parents, we have to know that. So I feel social media at a certain age is absolutely not required. I know that we've become a bigger world. There are so many uncertainties. So that's why parents give mobile phones, which also to an extent we can give the regular ones. They just need to be connected to us. So the myth of saying we have to be connected to a child every time, it's a myth. You don't really need to be. They go to tuition classes, they come back. In that journey is when you need them to know where they are. So I, as a parent, feel that social media is absolutely not required. I think till you turn 16, let's hope that as a parent, I'm able to achieve that. Because there are better ways of communication with your peers, with your friends, with your family. So there is no comparison. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs.
Did that answer your question, or can I take it?
If you want, you can.
Yeah, I think you are trying to refer to peer pressure, right? With social media or everything, or any influence for that matter, right? And then the example that you gave is straight out of the ad, like मेरे पापा तो XYZ member हैं, right? So I understand where you're coming from. I think the best way to deal with your emotions would be having open communications with whoever you feel comfortable with, right? Be it parents, your guardians, your teachers, to talk out what we are feeling, and because it's very natural, right? Don't be under an impression that you're feeling something really odd. Right, that's very natural, and everybody goes through it. I think I would advise to have open communication, and if we could do that at circle times at school, right? Or I would, I'm sure as a parent we do at home to have these open conversations, and I think schools can do their bit, having circle time and just open up the floor for conversations like these, right? I think that would help, right? But for you, I think just be yourself. Do not be influenced, right? Just observe and infer and choose not to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Nitiraj.
A little more suggestions on this. We have to live with it. Okay, we cannot just avoid being on the social media. Yes, of course, you all are 13 and it gives you all the permission to be there. I would just say stay controlled over it. Communicate if you all feel, as he said. Talk to your parents regarding that. And sometimes, you know, there are things on social media which can be protected by the parents. So parents, please do take those clause, you know, to protect their phones, or you can randomly give a check on it so that they are safe, and we cannot avoid from that. No, I'm saying, you know, they can use it. I'm not saying that they can't use it. We cannot avoid asking them not to use it. We have to live with it. Only we have to, you know, teach them how to use it or control it, because whatever they do there also, you know, they will learn out of it. They may do certain mistakes, or they may be having the peer pressure, you know. We have to teach them how to control it. That's what I want to say.
Thank you, Mrs. Preeti. Those were some really unique points.
Thank you for the question. The question came straight from your heart, so thank you.
Respected panelists, I have a question which is, do creative activities encourage students to reflect on their personal morals?
Definitely yes. Creativity activities. I think Anish, it was a very good question. So creative activities will reflect the morals in a individual, because when there is creativity activities performed, as I told you initially, there's a lot of brainstorming happening, lot of imagination happening, and all the values and the morals which is there in an individual will come out, and even the other side of it also, with the gray side of it, will also come out. So the kids learn by interacting with other kids. The students learn by interacting with the teacher community, with the parent community. Creativity is just not at the school. Creativity happens even at home, in the form of cooking, or in the form of some artwork, or a festival, or anything for that matter. And it definitely brings out the moral in a person by analyzing their thought process. Yes, and leading to a lot of problem solving, creative thinking, etc. So it definitely brings about the ethical value and the morals in a student.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Ms. Chetna on that, Anish. Like she said, when just take this example, this is a creative activity that you guys all together did. And I'm sure there were a lot of clashes, lot of misunderstandings, and lot of arguments, right? So there is that one moral that you're learning there, how to get along with your colleagues, right? That's a big thing. How to, you have to control your emotions, you have to control your anger, you have to make sure you put your words properly. These are all the morals and ethics that you're learning here. So yes, it definitely helps. And I hope school does more of such creative activities. Thank you so much.
I haven't thought in those ways yet, so thank you for the points.
I'm sorry for interrupting right now, but we would really appreciate if the panelists wouldn't refer to our student, but would refer to the audience with their descriptions.
As we saw Indus Day, the annual day, what act it was, the way it portrayed how the human will exist or no other in next 30 years. So the example of portraying or showing the creativity where moral is required, that was the best example. I feel always having innovative ideas to cultivate that morality in a person needs to be acted or performed. That gives more impact. If you see the Walt Disney, he gives all his stories through his movies, which helps the younger generation also to relate to it. I think movies, the innovative ideas are really reflected quickly than what we read. I think because when as adult when we read we relate it, but kids when they watch or virtually experience it, it's quicker. So I think innovative and creativity is necessary to give you all that moral support. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for those really interesting points.
Mic's not working.
I'm glad that several of you mentioned the contrast in the learning methods of each generation, like your generation and our generation. So, according to you, would you say your generation prepared you for the future better than ours?
I don't think so. You know, the preparation for the better future is always try to indulge in us, whether it is our parents or whether it is our kids. Maybe the internet was not around, but the values what we inherit from them is not. We are not giving you any less than that. So y'all are being told the same thing. So we have been inherited from whatever our parents have done to us. Of course, sometimes the knowledge what we have, what the kids have today, is maybe less because we were again I'll say there was no internet that time so that no resources were there. Now resources are too much for y'all. Y'all can get so much of it on the net and easily available. You all don't have to look around or hunt around or go from one place to other place to get for those resources. Everything is available on your hands. I think so. It is nothing difficult. Wasn't it difficult earlier? Not it's difficult now. It's on the individual.
Yeah, I think she very rightly ended her answer saying that each generation was prepared for different challenges, because this generation has a different challenge. We as a generation had a different challenge. So our parents prepared us for the challenge they foresee us to face. And today, as parents, as educators, we are preparing you, the community, for the challenge we foresee is going to come in terms of technology, in terms of value system, where the percentage of certain notions of being a human being are different. But preparedness has always been there, and preparedness has to always be there, because there is nothing that you can achieve without being prepared. So as every passing generation, the percentage of preparedness varies, but we were also prepared for different obstacles. Thank you.
Just one more point to add here. Were we more prepared than what you kids are prepared right now, right? Like they said, we were prepared, our parents prepared us to the future that was unknown to them, and now we are preparing you for the future that is unknown. And like they said, you have all the information out there, everything is out there, but only thing that I'm seeing is the conversation is lagging, which I think we have to work on as a parent and a kid. Because your kids have all this information on internet and everything is out there. I think your kids are not ready to listen to the parents or listen to the teachers. I'm not sure about that, but that wasn't there in our generation. It was only through our parents, it was only through our elders, it was only through our teachers that we could hear all these morals and ethics. But right now, since kids have so much of information, I think you kids have to work on that side, where you need to have those open conversation, as parents we need to have that non-judgmental conversation. Just be as friends, and let's encourage them to talk more. Thank you.
So I would like to follow it up with another question actually. So AI and a lot of the new softwares didn't exist in your generation, and you also did mention that it can be a curse for us and for the development. So would you say that was better, that you didn't have AI or easy access to these new softwares?
Just a small correction. I don't think any one of us said AI is a curse. So respected jury, we are all agreeing to the fact that AI is a boon. But the way it is utilized is something which depends on us. So do you want to tweak your question a bit? Because we all feel that AI is a boon. So, I mean, just a small fact.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Thank
No
you.
problem. Thank you.
Even I would say that, AI is not a curse. It is just that, it has to be controlled on the way it is being used. Actually, if you see, since the revolutions also started with the humanity, as we take the Russian Revolution or the French Revolution, there was a monarchy rule where, the socialist and the communist stood for their rights. The same way when internet came, even we had the parents had concerns that, how the kids are exposed to so many of them. Again, the policies were bought in. Now, if the AI is going to empower us, of course, there will be certain amount of people with the help of morality, we are going to stand in front of it. Because only we are the people have those feelings. So, we will be controlling over them. We cannot let it empower us. So, it's not at all a curse. Just use it in a proper way.
Thank you. I appreciate.
I would like to add on here. It's a Sadhguru's quoting. The greatest technology on the planet is the human's mechanism, but most people are yet to read the user's manual. So just the way you read the user's manual for each and every gadget you have, as Ms. Aparna told, have conversation, read the user's manual, and you can read the user's manual of the humans only by conversing with each other, only by bonding with each other. Okay.
Yes, I appreciate everyone's opinion and perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.
Respected panelists, how could you strategize limited use of AI while the future is all about AI and technology? So, how would you strategize limited use of AI while the future is all about AI and technology?
I would go towards the production line in this. We are using so much of AI in production where the jobs are getting affected. We can use less of it so that you can, provide jobs there. And because even for the AI to work in the field of doctors, you have to be fair enough to put your data in it. Otherwise, it could give you a wrong analysis. And most of the calculation, always the human mind has been more calculative, and we created AI. So I think we can control and start using our own minds there. Yes, of course, it gives you the analysis. But still, to get that analysis, you need to put your data. You have to think over it. So that is how you can limit using them. Yeah, that's it.
Strategizing AI is, we know that AI is the future, so we have to use it. Strategizing is by using it to do the smart work. And I know hard work is always has a upper hand, but there are certain works which demands smart work. So use AI in those places. And as I told, AI cannot be as creative as humans. Okay, strategize using AI usage is where there is less of human interaction. You can definitely use the AI. You can't have a think tank with AI, right? You can have a think tank with the community. So you can definitely have think tank with AI, but it is ethically neutral. It doesn't know what is right or wrong. That should be taught to AI by us. So strategizing is by using it for smart working to increase the production, or as I told, it doesn't have magic powers. It helps you to amplify the job what you are doing. So definitely we need policies. So there are many intellects, beings who can bring about policies and then strategize the usage of the AI.
To add on to that one more point, I have seen today's when they are interviewing for the job, too much of psychometric tests have been done. I feel sometimes the data what is put or what we are analyzing or what candidate we hold, sometimes it lags. Whatever is put on the data, maybe the person doesn't be, or he may have a lot of potential. So I would here request, to not only focus on the psychometric test, it has to be even done virtually, or you can interview personally, not only stick on to that. Yes, the human interaction is need to be done.
Trying to understand your question, right? You said, how do we strategize limited usage of AI? Is there a need?
I guess.
Why? I don't think so, right? I mean, depends on what your usage is, what your use case is. And if you're trying to restrict yourself, you're probably trying to undermine, or maybe you're using in a creative field, right? And you're just trying to get some insight from there and then add some of your own, right? But other than that, if you have a powerful tool at your disposal, why to limit it, right? I mean, unless you're talking about, again, going back to the point, unless you're talking about using for creative or educational purposes, right? That's where your moral compass would help more, and self-regulation, right? I mean, what would you do when nobody's watching is what matters, right? And that's where you would put a lid on it and say, okay, fine, this is what I'm going to use it for, and the rest of it is going to be my creative inputs, right? But other than that, if it's just doing a mundane job, why limit it, right? You use it to its maximal potential. And that's what it is for, right? I see a general sense of being intimidated, but please chill, right? It's just another tool.
I think I totally agree with what Niti Raj is saying. Why limit the use of a powerful tool which is going to make our society a better place? But use it to its potential in a way that's it's going to amplify the work you do. So I think, AI as a tool is best. Use it to its highest potential. But maybe how you use digital platforms, how you use technology is something that, we all need to sit and discuss, deliberate. But AI, I think there is no need to limit it. Use it to its full capacity in the way that it can amplify. Thank you.
Yeah, just to add on to these points, now to strategize the limitation of AI. So before that, let's get back to this mobile phones, right? Now we have mobile phones. Any kid, everybody has it. So did we strategize the limitation of these mobile phones? How do you, use your mobile phone? Did anybody tell you do this, don't do this, do this? How do you do that? It's your moral compass, correct? So that's how we have to see how today AI is just beginning. It's just, doing very small things. But when you grow up in the future, AI will be sitting here. It definitely will come and do our jobs here. It's going to be so powerful. So it's up to us. Again, the man too comes here. We have to be morally, ethically responsible citizens to make sure the technology that is in our hands, we make good use of it rather than go into a wrong path. Like there are some small examples right now where, they are AI generating images, videos, which are causing so much harm to people. Why? Why even think in those lines? Let's think in a positive way. Let's try to put our creativity in a positive way and do something good. And let's be happy and make others happy. That's all it is about, right? Be happy and let others be happy. Okay? Thank you.
Having a proper information about how it works would help, I think. Would help you.
Thank you. Respected panelists, I have a question. How do you balance between traditional teaching methods and AI-driven technologies in education?
I'll take it first then. AI is artificial. Does it give the expressions? I think humans have lots of feelings. And when we are teaching, I think our feelings, our expressions matter. Imagine if I'm reading a book in front of you, like a robot. Would you enjoy me? Right? The same it is. If I do it without the books or express myself, putting all the inputs, insights, or giving you examples of my own stories, when I use those things as example, it would be more helpful. I think that is how we can not be replaced by AI.
Yeah, definitely. AI is a very great tool that is going to take over everything. But having said that, humans are humans. We have those special bondings. You know, if AI is teaching, then AI has to be learning there, not humans, right? That's how it is going to be. And we are not AIs. We are humans. We have our own emotions. We have feelings. And right now, there are some therapy sessions where they are using animals to bring out the emotions in humans. Because we are losing out those human emotions. Thinking that AIs are doing everything. AI is doing everything. But no, that's not the case. Humans, we are humans. Let's be humans and let AI do its job. But let's not say AI is the great and AI is going to do everything for us. No, let's not go that path. Let us be humans, and we have our special feelings, emotions, and let's keep that. Okay? Thank you.
I think only the innovative methods have changed from blackboard to laptop. Otherwise, you have innovative methods to teach your child. You can teach complex. I think it is easier now to teach complex things. Right? Thank you.
When you say how do we strategize traditional methods versus AI-driven methods, we need to understand where does a human interface add more value and where does AI add value. For data-driven, like entering data, we don't need to use the value of a human being sitting there and just typing some data. If that can be, supplemented by AI, please use it. But like she mentioned, storytelling or, communicating, discussing, emotions is something that only a human can bring. So use a physical person there, use an educator there, but things that, like maybe correction of papers, if we can kind of, commoditize it or strategize it in a way that we have set framework, use AI for that. We don't want teachers to sit and like read and just, maybe they are made for bigger things. Remember, human beings are made for much bigger things, calculations. We have calculators, right? If we can use AI to make that more efficient, use it. So we have to understand as human beings that where and how to use AI and where it is necessary that you have an emotional connect. So neither can supplement, like at least AI can't supplement a lot of things that human beings do, but it can complement. So we need to realize that aspect. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your thoughts on it.
The respected panelists, I have a question regarding a point which Ms. Manva stated, which was that competitive exams help build the environment. So now coming to the future, how do you think like the AI and all will develop the environment through competitive exams? Yeah. It's just a point stated by you, so it's a general answer.
As I had earlier mentioned, competitive exams make you think a lot. A critical thinking is done, a problem solving is there. It is not just competing whatever is on your syllabus. So competitive exams include these also. So when it comes on the environment, of course, we all start thinking towards it. And we all discuss on how to solve the problems. As global warming started, of course, we all started thinking of growing more trees, saving water. So in that sense, I would take it competitive exams can let us think. No, it gives us that critical thinking and problem solving.
That's a good question, Anish. So AI, what AI has a role to play in the future competitive exams was your question. So as Ms. Rashmi told in the previous question, AI can teach us complex things in a simpler way. So making the learning for the competitive exams much easier process. Okay, so there may be some kind of creativity through AI which will make a person understand a complex problem in a better way, in an imaginary way, and maybe the students in future will be able to solve their problems in a much more simpler manner through the use of AI. So definitely AI can make learning simpler by breaking down the complex things into simple ones. But of course, it cannot take over the humans, because that kind of an interaction, as Ms. Preeti told in the last question discussion, the human interaction where we give examples, life examples, our own experiences, that also matters. But definitely AI is going to make things simpler, even in terms of competitive exams.
Wow, that was a great conversation between the jury and the panelists.
That was the mind-boggling questions from the jury as well. It gave a lot of really appreciate the jury members. Yeah, your thought process and the thoughtfulness which went into creating the questions actually gave a lot of work to our minds today.
We thought this was the surprise round. The questions were quite surprising to us.
Hello.
The final round, the most awaited.
Wait, isn't that a surprise? Isn't that a surprise? Wait, isn't that a surprise?
Absolutely. We have a challenge for all of you. We would like you to prepare an equation for the readiness for the future.
Do you mean like a Do you mean the mathematical equation?
Why is everything related to math?
It's similar to a mathematical equation. So we would like you to sum up all your points, your perspectives, and we would want to know, what do you think preparing us students for a future that we do not know is equal to? Would you like me to repeat? What do you think preparing us students for a future is equal to? So basically, you have to create an equation for readiness for the future. We would be giving you some boards and you have markers placed in front of you. You will be getting 3 minutes to prepare an equation. And after that, we would take your boards away, and then you would each get 2 minutes to present your equation.
The equation should be brief, simple, and comprehensible.
I didn't get a board. Mom, can you do it in the notepad? Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
We would like to begin this round. The timekeeper. You get 3 minutes. The question is, what do you think preparing us students for a future is equal to?
Around 1 minute more.
Wow, 2 minutes of forgotten. I'm still reading my pages and my thoughts. Your clock actually works.
We would like the equations to look exactly like how a mathematical equation would be, but in words.
You have to take maths tuitions for this to understand how an equation looks. You are far away, like far-fetched from that.
Please stop.
Be careful.
No, I didn't.
I'll just put my
Yours is this one?
that book is mine. I'll just make it. I'll write it on a new page. I'm just writing on equation for Excuse us on our spellings, huh? Shall I write from here? Yeah. You guys are all tech guys, yeah.
Using all the this algorithm. No, don't place it. Just read it out. Okay.
I don't know if you follow because in the book, no, it's just.
Now we would like you all to come here. You would be given 2 minutes to present your equation and explain it to the audience. We would be going in chronological order. Ma'am, can we please request you to come up?
Yeah. Okay, I'll come in. I don't mind coming in.
You'll be getting 2 minutes to present. Ma'am, you can go. Sanvi. Sanvi, we have 2 minutes for each participant.
Okay. Good evening, one and all. My equation, as you told, it has to be an equation, and life is both complex and simple. And a mathematical equation can either be complex or a simple one, which has to be solved. So preparing student for the future unknown is equal to strengthen family foundation plus positive role models plus community engagement plus media literacy multiplied by the collaboration of the school and parent community divided by the thoughts of our student community. They need to analyze it. And also integrating all of this with the efforts of the society that brings about an attitude change in our students for the future unknown, as Ms. Principal Prasida showed us one big, thing on her tab when Ms. Preeti asked her, what is there on your tab? It was attitude. So all this sums up to a great attitude. Thank you very much.
That was a perfect beginning to the equation round. Thank you.
We should end also there. She's
summed up all our thoughts.
It was really tough going back to a math. I just wrote saying that leading towards the. Okay. Oh, you gave me a shock.
No, the first bell is the starting bell.
Okay.
Second bell.
Okay. For me, it was like the equation said, the usage of human should be greater or equal to AI. Here I took it like we are living with AI now or going to live with AI now. We have to be having our morality along with it. So how we use the AI also needs to be known. So I said that human, as we have feelings, where compared to AI, there I used we are greater. Equal to, yes, the use, we are going to use them together. AI is as necessary as human beings. So to make our work easier, error-free and productive. But yes, compared to the feelings, humor are also needed. We need to exist on this earth. Thank you.
Prepared for a challenge where I had to write in a book because we fell short of the boards. Can I begin? For the future, which is uncertain, is equal to preparedness into 2 times. So preparedness square. We have to be prepared for any challenge, any obstacle or any opportunity that comes our way. Plus 2x of communication. Communication between family, between your siblings, between your teacher, as a couple. Into a lot of resilience. So into resilience or hard work, that is very, very important. And we have to subtract all the fear we have that tomorrow is uncertain. Don't be scared, don't be afraid, just go with it with full grit. Thank you.
My equation is as simple as possible. It's a combination of artificial intelligence plus the human intellectual intelligence. This is our future. Thank you.
Mine's pretty simple here, if you can see it right. Right. What do I have here? Is it mathematically? It says summation of your skill set integrate 0 to infinity of your creativity minus the noise divided by the value system. So how does it read? It accumulates the skill set as you go, as we grow. We keep growing and keep learning, right? Alongside our creativity, right? Unbound, 0 to infinity. Cut the noise, cut the crap. Excuse my French. But all along, normalize it with your value system. That's my speech.
Yeah, mine is also as simple as I could do it because it's not that simple, but I thought let's make the equation simple. So the future generation is equal to AI ready plus open conversation in brackets multiplied by moral ethics. This is my simple equation because I think open conversations are very much required, which I already see lagging. In my family, at school, outside, people are just stuck to their phones everywhere, which we have to cut down on. So yeah, this is my equation here. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was brilliant. And we got reminded of our math class as well.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Don't you think it's time for a break?
It certainly is.
My back hurts.
On that note, there would be a 10-minute recess, and there would be a bell at the 9th minute, which would alarm you to be back to your seats before we have the reading of the resolution and the prize distribution, which is the most exciting part, I think, for all of you. Thank you.
We'll have a critical analysis now.
There are a few snacks arranged for you all, so you can help yourself.
But in 9 minutes, you took away so much of energy. The 9 minutes wouldn't be enough. Just 10 minutes. I'm just kidding. Mind thoughts going around. We take those books, but later we are going to have snacks. I'm thinking we'll leave the night. Yes.
You have to go to the dining room, is it?
No, it's
I was feeling good without that. No phone calls. Bags can be kept there.
have our second part of the jury, who would be reading out the resolution, who would be reading out the drafted resolution by them. I would now like to pass it on to them.
Once again, a very warm welcome to each one of you present here. As we come to the conclusion of this event, I'm honored to be a part of ThinkTank. And now, without further ado, we would like to put forth the resolution drafted by the members of the jury. I now invite the jury to read out the resolution. Point number 1. Imagination has a strong capacity and creativity plays a huge role in shaping our future. We cannot depend fully on AI because in the end, AI cannot be as creative as human minds. Positive values given at a young age helps the young minds to balance AI properly.
Thank you, Kanak. So now I'll be reading out the second and third resolution, which are: action speaks louder than words. Interacting with community is bringing more ethical values. Creating positive role models is beneficial for the dissidents and the community. The third is: today's innovation becomes outdated tomorrow. So creativity never stops, and AI is a tool, but we can't be dependent on it.
The fourth point is, competitive exams are important only if your career needs them. Just because you chose a career that does not require a competitive exam does not make you any less. Failure is a part of life. Whether we like it, we will fail at some point and we need to be ready for all challenges.
Moral compasses begin to develop straight from birth, whereas ethical compasses begin to develop when a child is older, to get a chance to observe the world around them. A balance must be made between the two so we can both be good and proactively do good actions to help our community as a whole. Point 7. It is important to be clear and without fear for achieving our goals. Let's all get encouraged and to continue our path and try to face bravely each challenge which comes our way.
Point 8. The main battle in competition is against us and not others. You should believe that people can be an inspiration for us to strive and achieve the best version of ourselves. Point 9. Economic success is important and is also equally proportional to the stability of our character. So find your stability to connect man 1 and man 2.
10th point. We need to stick to the family and cultural values, since those are the things that are certain in an uncertain life. So now we come to an end of the resolutions by the points and views stated by the panelists. So we are grateful for each one of you for your valuable time and participation. Thank you, everyone.
Can we have a huge round of applause? I think that was a very efficient resolution that has been drafted.
And theirs was the toughest job. To concise. We have spoken for more than an hour or so, 2 hours, and they have concise to 10 points. Amazing, brilliant.
Oh my God. Oh my God, isn't this much awaited?
Yes, of course it is. We would now like to talk about the prize distribution.
So the panelist who speaks with the most confidence and grace gets the Best Speaker Award.
The Best Contributor Award goes to the panelist with the most stats and facts stated.
And the Best Ideator Award goes to the person. The Best Ideator Award goes to the person who has made the perfect equation. This is related to your last surprise round.
To now hand out the prizes, I would like to invite our beloved principal on stage. Can we have a huge round of applause for her?
A big round of applause to jury for drafting that resolution. We are so, so proud of you, my dear Eagles. I mean, as they said, they spoke for around 2.5 hours, but then you concise. I mean, that's a brilliant job, and we are so proud of you. And we are all the more confident about our preparation. So I think imagination was the first point, and then we talked about creativity and innovation. So it's a learning for me, I would say. What should be there in school to prepare our students for a future that we do not know? So if you know, the innovation curriculum is already in existence for imagination and creativity. So we are going right over there. We have community outreach programs to keep them grounded and to show them there is another part of life that you are not experiencing. I think ethics and media literacy, that's something that we should look at, which we don't have right now, but we would definitely look at incorporating ethics and media literacy, which emerged in your discussion. And I like the way you quoted that it should be a family culture, respect, and a strong bond with the school, which is going to prepare our students for a future that we do not know, even with the advent of artificial intelligence. So thank you so much. Are you going to invite the PSC chairperson, or should I do that? You're going to do that? Because we don't know the winner. Before they call out the best contributor, speaker, and ideator, dear panelists, each one of you was brilliant. A big round of applause. So please don't get disheartened. You know, everyone would be leaving here because you all stole a heart, I would say. You all would agree to that because it was highly intellectual, based on real life situations, and coming from our parents, it means a lot to the school community. This is just a small carrot that we give, I would say that, so that, we could motivate you. But believe me, everybody would leave with something or the other, but you're all taking our hearts away when you leave here. Okay? So please don't get disheartened. And thank you. With that, I think you can invite our PSC chairperson.
So would give out such participant certificates to
Sorry? Huh.
We decided so would give out the participant certificate to everyone.
Okay, but I would request the PSC chairperson to please be here with me and please give the closing note to this event.
Okay, well, all I can say is this has been a very productive day, I think, for everybody. I was pleasantly surprised. First of all, every single parent, thank you for telling an unfiltered view of what you think, and I think this is the kind of discussion that we've all been trying to gear up for. So this is, amazing in each and every way. And as Dr. Srikumar said, the prizes are for fun. But I think all of us, at least, I can speak for myself, have gained. I think the discussions that you have, even the disagreements, the polite disagreements, those were very useful, right? Because it gets the mind thinking, right, as to, it could go this way, it could go that way. So thank you for that. All the kids, the students, right? Amazing job. Because I was talking to, obviously, our principal and Mr. Sunil, and they've mentioned that you guys did everything, right? So this is not an easy thing to do. This is getting an experience like this is worth so much, not even here, just anywhere internationally, right? Doing this, participating in this, creating this. So first of all, great questions. I thought that was a very good session. I couldn't have summed it up better myself. You guys did amazing, like literally, right? Because everything, you actually captured all the essence of what was said. So good job there. Obviously our anchors did an amazing job. And everyone, right? Everybody. So it's just it's a huge thing for everyone here. So thank you for that. And I think, yes, we should. I think we're all excited to use this session to kind of further enhance. I think a lot of things. I mean, some things we have, some things we can get to a better state. And I think this is a very useful discussion. And thank you all once again. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I'm doing this. Okay. Very good. Okay, best contributor. Sure. Yes. Nobody knows what this is. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, sure. Ms. Arpana Patil. Aparna Patil. Very good. Congratulations.
Can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. Aparna?
Best speaker. Ms. Manva. Very good.
Comment on the thing.
Man.
Best ideator. Mr. Nitiraj. Congratulations.
A huge round of applause for Mr. Niti Raj. I think this equation will be in the future. We would like to give out participation certificates to all the participants and the panelists here. We really appreciate you taking out your time and being with us here today. Next up, we have Ms. Preeti Patil. Next up, we have Ms. Manva Hunswadkar.
Sorry.
Ms. Rashmi Patil.
Three parties here. Raj and I were like the odd ones out. The non-parties.
Thank you.
As we come to the end of this magnificent day, we extend our deepest appreciation to all who contributed to the success of this day.
First, we would like to thank our CEO and MD, Lieutenant Colonel Arjun Ray, General Arjun Ray for sparking the unique thought of think tank and helping us understand the importance of man too in this VUCA world.
We would like to we would like to take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to our principal, Ms. Dr. Prasida Srikumar, for her open-minded approach towards new ideas and ensuring a learning environment for each one of us.
We would also like to thank each and every one of our panelists here for their time and participation in this event. We also appreciate and acknowledge all the contributions made by each and every one of you in this event.
We would also like to thank our jury members, our judges, and our timekeeper for their enthusiasm and hard work and efforts in making this event a huge success.
A big round of applause to Mr. Rajiv Raikar, our PAC chairperson, and all PAC members for their unwavering support as Indus Altum brand ambassadors, for taking their time out and being with us here today to support us.
Our Director Administration, Major Mayank Johari, Admin Manager, Mr. Gautam, and the entire administrative team, including support staff, food, transportation, and IT, for making all the essential arrangements to make ThinkTank successful.
We would also like to thank Mr. Sunil Ravindran, our upper secondary coordinator, for all his support and coordinating this think tank for us.
Ms. Sarvika Tuli, Ms. Priya Bardeskar, Mr. Ujjwal, our Head of Admissions and Marketing, and Ms. Sushimlata are in charge for all their support and guidance to make this day a success.
Ms. Anjali Negi, Middle School Coordinator, and Ms. Archana Kakani, Primary Coordinator, and our Sports Head, Mr. Mayank Pandey, for their guidance and motivation throughout this journey. Thank you, everyone. We hope you have a great weekend.
Moderators, anchors, you all were fabulous. Yeah. So very well done, Anita. I'm so proud. Tell Mama. So proud. Already the leaders.